Hey guys, what's up? So about 10 years ago I started a website called, what was it called? Oh, 10 years ago I started a website called Worn Out Reviews. And in Worn Out Reviews the idea was I would take cycling products I'd totally worn out and reviewed them. There was a problem with this. By the time a cycling product is completely worn out, you can't usually even buy it anymore. They don't make them anymore. So it's like, well, maybe maybe this isn't such a good idea. So I switched to just writing about my general cycling adventures, and I called it Barn Door Cycling. And I did that for quite a while. And now I'm doing these videos, which I call Barn Door Cycling Video Blog. But anyway, this is a review. Going back, this is a totally worn out review. Now these are my, I don't remember the year, but I want to guess probably 2013 model. I'd say I've had them that long, maybe 2014. Maybe 2015. I don't know. I've had these several years. These are Specialized Body Geometry Sport mountain bike shoes. So Specialized still more or less follows the same pattern where for their general mountain bike shoe, they're kind of cross-country type shoe. They have Sport, Comp, and then like Expert, and then S-Works. So these were about $100, and they still are about $100 today. And I was just looking at them on the website, and they look a little different, but not much different than this. I would say they're pretty similar. So if you're into, looking for a beginner cheap mountain bike shoe, maybe this is what you want. So let's look at these. So I've been riding these as my pretty much primary only mountain bike shoe now for several years. Also for gravel riding, these are my go-to shoes. So they've got quite a bit of miles on them. A lot of rugged mud. They've been completely encased in mud, taken home and sprayed down several times. So let's look over these. We'll talk about first, performance, how they perform. Well, they're pretty stiff and they're very comfortable. So I'm a big fan of Specialized shoes because, Specialized shoes are the most comfortable shoes I've tried. I like their gear in general. It always just seems to work pretty well, and I'm generally pretty happy with the Specialized stuff that I buy. And these shoes, I'm pretty happy with them. I have some issues. I have some problems, and I'll get to those in a minute. But in general, I'm pretty happy with these shoes, and I've been pretty happy with just about anything Specialized, any product that Specialized labels that I've had that I like. I've had Specialized jersey. It's my favorite jersey. Specialized road bike shoes. Specialized gloves. I've got some Specialized gloves that are like 15 years old in there, and they're not worn out, whereas I have some Bond Trader gloves that are like 3 or 4 years old, and they're just completely disintegrated. So anyway, what about these shoes do I like? Well, first off, they performed well. They were very comfortable. They have a built-in Varus wedge. Specialized shoes kind of have a built-in wedge, so that means that the shoe when you're riding is sort of slightly tilted like this, just a little bit when you're riding. And that tilt is more comfortable for your feet because it puts more pressure on the inside of your foot instead of the outside of the foot. I had pain on the outside of my feet for a very long time. I had all this pain and pressure on the outside of my feet, and that was terrible. When I started using Specialized shoes, that problem went away. So, form and function. Biggest complaint. Okay, so sometimes I almost feel like they designed these maybe so that after a while you would want to get better ones. Because how do they enclose? Well, they have 3 Velcro straps, which is fine. I don't need a real complicated fancy enclosure system. I don't need ratchets. I don't really need boas. I just need, something that encloses. I prefer just really to have laces for the most part. But these are nice because you can really quickly undo them and get your feet in there. But one issue when you're dealing with Velcros is they can get dirty, and you see there's mud jammed down in this Velcro. I got some mud jammed down there in this Velcro strap, so that thing right there is probably not going to work as good as it should. But here was the problem with these, and I talked to my buddy Luke had started. These were some of his early mountain bike shoes, and he had the exact same problem and quit using them. There's just not enough strap unless your foot's too small for the shoe. You see, to totally enclose the strap, the straps need to be almost as tight as you can get them. And then you've totally covered the strap. And it looks really cool and everything. But the problem is, I've got a pretty big foot, and especially a wider foot, and I couldn't do that. So for me, they enclose, and it looks like you can easily see where my last, right, they enclose right like about that. So I'm only really getting not even half of the Velcro tab closed. So then this part's always getting dirty and muddy, and so then they don't want to stay tight. It's just real simple. Sometimes the Velcros have just popped off. You're riding along, and I've actually had my foot come out of my shoe because this Velcro's popped off, and then this one gets a lot of pressure and it pops off. So maybe Velcro isn't the best system for mountain bike shoes that are going to get real muddy and dirty all the time. Once you get them closed tight enough, they will stay tight. I have to remember to, early in the ride, at some point in the ride, pull them snugger, pull them tighter, and make sure they don't fall apart or fall off my foot. What else is going on about these? Well, the soles are starting to, this one is starting to come apart. You can see a big chunk. A lot of times the big rubbery sole will flex more than the hard sole, that, the pedaling sole, and this hard sole will start to kind of peel and pop off, and that's what's going on here. I'm starting to lose some of the sole here. It's coming unstitched in the front. And then this huge hole in the shoe, I can't really blame it on the shoe. It got hung in as I was pedaling, something like a rock or something kicked my shoe in, and it got caught between the chain and the chain ring, because, we're too cool to use rock guards anymore, bash guards. So there was nothing there to block it, and it got hung into the chain and chain ring and ripped a big chunk out. Now that happened last year, and I've been using these quite a few times with this big chunk. I had it all taped over with Gorilla Tape, and that lasted for a while, and then it kind of came apart again. But actually, I could probably just totally cut that off and leave that hole right there, and the shoes still work. I mean, they're still enclosing and staying on my foot, so it doesn't seem to make that big of a difference. So, like, as far as comfort, amazing. Wear and tear, I mean, I've been using these on mountain bike rides for, like I said, I think I've had these about 5, maybe even 6 years. I've had them for a long time. They're well past worn out, and I can still use them today, and they're still comfortable, and they still perform just as well. Now, it's probably not going to be too many more rides, and these soles are going to completely start to just disintegrate and come off, and then it's going to be kind of a problem. But how about walking? Do you walk in mountain bike shoes? Yeah, you got to walk sometimes. I've done quite a bit of walking. My bikes are not that reliable on mountain bike rides, and I have had to walk quite a bit on mountain bike rides. And so, if you're doing a lot of walking, you want a shoe that you can comfortably walk in. And these are, for mountain bike shoes, they're fine. They're comfortable. I walked 7 miles the other day in these shoes because my bike broke, and I continued just walking. I think I rode a mile and walked about 6.5 that day, actually. So it was a lot of walking. My feet were tired and sore at the end, but really probably not that much more tired and sore if I'd been wearing like a hiking boot. Maybe just a little bit, because they are pretty stiff. So biggest issue, the only real drawback if you want to buy a sport shoe, the Specialized sport shoe, and I haven't looked at the new ones lately, I don't know if these straps are any longer, but they should be longer. Now, I'm guessing the reason Specialized made these straps so short was that some of their old mountain bike shoes, I had a pair, you might remember these green and brown Specialized shoe. It was just, I think it was the Comp or the, I don't know, Sport or whatever, but they were really common for a long time. You can still find them on eBay. They were like green and brown. They were like the ubiquitous mountain bike shoe. And they had some Velcro straps, and the Velcro straps were designed, they were too long. So you pull them tight, and you'd have this 3 inches of Velcro strap kind of hanging off the shoe. You could always, trim that off if you wanted or whatever, but it was good because if you had a wide foot, like I didn't always have that much. I remember seeing some guys would have tons of Velcro strap hanging off, some guys wouldn't. So I think they designed these to look a little neater and trimmer, but they didn't take into effect that I wear, a size 11, 11 and a half, but I have a really wide foot through this whole section. It's not a long foot, it's a wide foot, and I need a lot of adjustment here, So looking at the Specialized website, just right before this review, it looks like there's a lot more models. In the past, when I bought these, you know, there wasn't that many models available. Now it looks like there's a lot of models available, a lot of different styles. Looks like there's some styles that are more kind of catered towards free riding, more catered towards gravel. There's winter models, and they still make their standard sport, comp, XC, S-Works mountain bike shoe. For $100, I feel like the value was maybe not quite there on these. I feel like this shoe probably wasn't really worth $100 now that I've, you know, had them for a while, and you think about what a shoe costs to make. I would say that, you know, but when you think about how many years I've got of these, the amount of comfort, the performance, I'm pretty happy with them. So yeah, just generally in general, specialized stuff seems to work pretty good. Hey, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, maybe like, leave a comment if you want. Tell me about your favorite mountain bike shoe, and see you on the trails.